What up? What's good? What's happening? It's your boys, the Gamma Blurs. So, this is your boy Big Herb, and along with me right here, my man and my partner in crime, Rick Stroke. I know he doesn't like to introduce himself, so I figured I'd introduce you for him.
I don't
Uh,
listen. I don't need to introduce myself. They know who I am. So I'm never going to insult our audience's intelligence by telling them who I am because they know who I am. And if they don't know who I am, they need to get hip.
I, I mean, you got a point there. So, I mean, I'm not going to argue with you on that one. Unfortunately, we are short one more person. The homie Trey Proper, he's ill right this second. So, homie, get better. We'll see you
He
next week.
he ill, but he in the comments.
I
He
mean,
already
yeah, look, I tried to save your ass, dude. I mean, hey, but
clearly you ain't that sick, nigga. I can soup your ass onto the stream.
some chicken noodle soup, nigga, or something. But guys, it's been a hectic week in the world going so far. Rick, we just found out there was a unfortunate event that took place in Georgia. It's between two twins by the name of Kadir and Nazir Lewis. They were twins who just they're 19 years old. They were on their way to Boston, and apparently they were found by a hiker in the in the woods in Georgia, in a sundown area as well. And so yeah.
Um, so Kadir and Nazir Lewis, they're from Lawrenceville, Georgia. They were, like you said, they were on their way they were dropped off at the airport and they were
Mhm.
on their way to see friends in Boston and ended up in Bell Mountain, Georgia, found
Mhm.
dead by a hiker. Apparently there was a firefighter who shared pictures of the crime scene and
Mhm.
he was arrested for sharing that content and he was fired, so that's a good thing. But um, like immediately when these two bodies were found, they called it the Georgia police called it a murder suicide,
Yeah.
saying that one of the brother like first off that's weird that you immediately draw that conclusion. But then these two young men they weren't even going to Bell Mountain, Georgia. They had never been there,
Yeah.
and you immediately say that it was a murder suicide. That's really suspicious and just atrocious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, I hope that it doesn't. They don't close the book on this one. I hope that there's an actual investigation and that we actually find out who actually killed these two young men. Because I'm sorry, I'm not gonna sit here and go along and say that this was a murder suicide when they're traveling to go out of town to see friends and they end up murdered in a part of Georgia they've never been to. That's
Yeah.
all of my black people alarm bells are going off.
Yeah, because I'm and just to piggyback on you with that, so first of all, their plane tickets were inside their pockets. That's
Right.
number one. Number two, you're in a sundown state area, and that's number two. And number three, you're 90 miles away from where you've never even been in this area. You have nothing affiliated with this area, and you're telling me that it's a murder suicide when they didn't even have correct me if I'm wrong. I think they didn't even have the gun on them at that time, but apparently it's a murder suicide. And yeah, like
When
why? I'm sorry. Why would you go to if you know that you're going to an airport? Why would I bring a gun with me, especially when I have the plane tickets in my pocket? It just
um
doesn't add up. That math ain't mathing.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. It's all a bunch of screwy nonsense. And again, first off, another comment or conversation that I want to go into from this is why is it that we're still talking about sundown towns in 2025? But
exactly.
also, but also at the same time, the president who bought and paid for his seat can throw up a Nazi salute twice at a and we can be gaslit into saying that it's not a Nazi salute. People were talking about it's a Roman salute. The vice president can be selling cars on the front lawn of the White House, like it's a goddamn infomercial or something. And so it's a lot of dangerous things that are happening right now in this day and age. It's a lot of bullshit that's going on,
Mhm.
and they're trying to they're essentially right now as all minorities, the people in power are essentially pissing on our heads and telling us that it's raining. And
Exactly.
please don't fall for it. Please don't fall for it. This is not the Amazon. We don't get warm rain. You know what I
No.
mean? So it's just understand what's happening and understand what is taking place. These are the dangerous precedents that can take place under this current administration.
So as always, guys, we ask that you please like, share, subscribe, hit that like button down there. Also, just in the comments, Ebony Wiggins, gang, choo choo train, we in this thing. Trey Proper, welcome. We in this thing, bruh. We in, and well, I'm unfortunately, I got sick and caught the flu, but yeah, get better, dude. Drop them likes, people. Yeah, Trey just keeps flooding it out, and you're supposed to be sick, man. You're supposed to be in bed getting better.
No, Herb. You don't have to read all of the comments. Just read
Just
just read the pertinent
yeah,
ones.
yeah, yeah,
Read the relevant ones.
yeah.
You can't read
That's
the whole
pretty. Yeah,
thing.
Sundown. Corey says Sundown State. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Sundown
Sundown
Town.
town.
Town
Sundown
is what I
town.
meant to say. Yeah. So, but yes, I mean, since we're pretty much talking about Trump with his selling the car shit, let's get into the Department of Education. So, go ahead. This all.
So again, this is all a part of everything that's been laid out for us in Project 2025 that's been out there for 2 years. They said one of the main goals is to disintegrate or get rid of the Department of Education. And yesterday, Trump signed in legislation to begin the dissolving of the Department of Education. As someone who worked in education for 11 years of my life, as someone who still yearns to actually get back into the field of education, to work with children that listen, I miss my kids every day. I miss working with I miss molding young minds. I miss doing all of that. I constantly talk about it all the time. I say it every day. If I could, I would quit my job and take my salary right back to the school tomorrow if I could. But this is incredibly dangerous because what's happening here is they are trying to privatize education. They are trying to make education a state issue instead of a federal mandate. You know what I mean? So instead of everybody getting the same type of education or everybody supposed to be along the same lines of education, now we are privatizing it. And unless you have money, you won't be educated. You know what I mean? And that is incredibly unfortunate and incredibly dangerous. But also we know because it's come out of Trump's mouth that he loves the uneducated. That's the majority of his base is people who don't read, or people who don't trust science, or people who don't understand the difference from fact and opinion. This is what he wants. This is how they maintain power. This is how they maintain the state that they're in, the state that we are moving towards. And this is I was at the gym yesterday when he was having his press conference. I was on the treadmill doing my warm up, and I'm sitting here looking, and I'm just getting more and more pissed. The more as I'm reading the captions, the more as I'm sitting here talking, the more as I watch him smiling at Linda McMahon and her taking a bow and feeling happy about what she's done because she's been once he got inaugurated and he is shouting her out about leading the Department of Education. He was like, "Yeah, I want you to do a great job putting yourself out of a job." And she's just smiling and laughing about it. And you look at the McMahons and the characters that they played on TV, and you start to realize that, oh no, wait, y'all weren't playing characters. This is
being
who you
himself.
are. You're just evil fucking people. You know what I mean? Like you are just evil and wicked, and it's highly depressing, and it's just a shame, man, because I have nieces and nephews who are in elementary school and they're still working their way through education. And I'm terrified because I don't know what it is that they're going to get or what it is the world is going to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're destroying our history day by day. They're removing the history of our people, of Black people and minorities and women and people in the LGBTQ plus community and all of the contributions that we've made to society. They're deleting all of that. So what is this going to look like if you just leave it up to the states to put things out there? You know what I mean? So go ahead.
And even just to piggyback on what you're saying, as far as like you put the states in control, and it's already bad enough that some of them don't even want to put out the information that's clearly out there that you can find now. I mean, I didn't even find out until about the Tulsa massacre until after I graduated high school. And I mean, that shit took place what 100, literally about 102 years ago. So I mean, and
104.
104 years ago. And I mean, I remember seeing something as far as like where it was a guy from Tulsa who moved to Florida to teach. He didn't even know about it. So I mean, if that is being taken place in your own state, what's gonna say the rest of about the rest of the country? And then on top of that, like I piggyback on what you said about Linda McMahon. I see why Stephanie wanted nothing to do with them. I mean, shit. I mean, it's just like that. They are monsters. And I mean, the fact that you just want to take away, like, it's the fact that you can't live with the history of how shitty of a person you are, and then you want to go ahead and just get rid of all the history that took place. You want us to be dumb and not be able to go ahead and just take care of our money, as far as just teaching classes with that. You don't want to invest in the futures of the people who are going to be our future leaders in the world. You don't want us to go ahead and just mold the minds of just, hey, let's just put this information out here and you do whatever it is you want to do. But at the same time, it's just like, hey, we want you to be stupid as fuck and do whatever it is, Linda, that you can do to get your ass fired. And I'll quote a McMahon line afterwards. How do you feel about that? Oh, I feel fine. Like that these fucking people.
They want people to have malleable soft brains. They want people to not think on their own. They want people to not have their own opinions. They want people to basically take the word that they put out there, and they want you to not question anything. They want you to not have skills to be able to form your own opinion, to fight back against tyranny, you know what I mean? To fight back against fascism. You know, they want to continue to have people just going along to get along with what it is that they're saying, and not think anything to the wiser. You know, um,
They
it
want
is
idiocracy. Pretty much.
yeah, yeah. I mean, we're living it at this point. You know what I mean? It. I don't want to keep using the word depressing, but man, the shit is just depressing. It's depressing to read the news. It's depressing to look at the news, to look at any type of newspaper or anything like that. Because, or if you go online, right, and you look at any type of story or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like you go on Instagram, you see a story, and you jump in the comments, or if you're still on Twitter, my God, I don't know how you're doing it. But you look in the comments, and there are just these people who are just siding with everything that these billionaires and these millionaires are constantly putting out with. And these are people who work 9 to 5 jobs, people who some may have gone to college, some may have not have gone to college, some may have gone to high school, graduated high school, whatever. But they're kowtowing to these people, and they're just agreeing with everything that they're saying, and it's heartbreaking and it's demoralizing. But it also is motivating to me, because it's motivating to me to continue to try to push push back, you know what I mean, and try to educate as many people as I come into contact with. I don't I can't just stand by on the sidelines and just not just talk about these things with people, or try to give people a counterpoint or a different perspective. And but it is outrightly atrocious the way people are just going along with this narrative just to make themselves feel better, and it's you can't call yourself the master race while dissolving all of the contributions that other people and other races have made it would throughout history.
Yeah.
um it, it's just really really sad, man, and we're just at the whims of an insecure old orange bag, and
This point,
it's laughable.
at this point, it makes you want to invest in trying to get a rage room. Just look here, if I can't change the world in any way, shape, I want to invest in a rage room so I can profit off of it. It's depressing out. It like you said, you don't want to keep using that word, but what other adjective can you use besides getting pissed off? And besides like wanting to rage out and just you can't, some of the stuff we can't even say because we don't want those men in black knocking at our door. So I mean, it's just but that's how it makes you feel at the end of the day.
They are watching your social media. If you have a security clearance, be careful about what you repost and what it is you're posting because they are watching.
Mhm.
I'm gonna run down some of these comments real quick.
Yeah.
So Corey, going back to the sundown town conversation, is Corey Johnson says we still have to talk about them because they still exist. Unfortunately, it's the reality of where we are in this country as a country.
Mhm.
Very true, very true, very unfortunate. Ebony Wiggins, it was his press secretary for me saying that the Department of Education hasn't educated a child ever. For me, SMH, shaking my head. Man, listen, that is, first off, let's talk about this press secretary real quick. That is the oldest looking 26-year-old or 27-year-old I've ever seen in my life. She's 27 years old and I look younger than her. That just tells you when you do wicked things and then you already one of these folks, you already age like baloney. So when you're doing evil shit, you're gonna age even faster. She looks like a piece of stepped on gum. Anyway, uh, the Corey Johnson, the thing to remember is that they can't do it fully without Congress. Unfortunately, Corey, he's shown that he don't give a fuck about what Congress or what other judges other than Supreme Court says. If you're not agreeing with him, he's going to go around you. They're basically, they've said, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna do what I want, and they do it every day.
I mean, this before you go to the next one, I'm just thinking about what took place at the state of what was it the when Trump addressed the whole entire Congress. When they
It's Trump Day.
the congressman got taken out of because he didn't want to sit down when they told him to sit down, and he was just going against everything that Trump said. I can't remember the congressman's name right at this moment, but
look up his name. I'm gonna finish reading these comments. You look up his name. All right, so Corey Johnson, ultimately what this kind of boils down to is we have to better with teaching our kids our history. It's on us at this point. Very, very true. I absolutely agree with you on that. I know when I was an educator and it would come to Black History Month, every time they would always just look at me and be like, you know what, Rick, you got it, because they know either I was going to be very loud about the nonsense that they were teaching, or I was going to take over from the get go. So I'm very much a believer in we have to teach our own. Trey Proper, United States of Doom. All we can do is prepare ourselves and our children with the truth about where we are. We have to keep spreading the knowledge of our true past and our potential futures. Absolutely, absolutely.
it was Al Green,
right, and
but I also see here that expelled from former rep George Santos was oh no, I'm sorry, that I read that wrong. Continue.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Continue.
Don't say nothing about George Santos in here. I think that motherfucker's a liar. But no, I was gonna say Corey saved you, and I was gonna say, and yes, that's Congressman Al Green, not Al Green that got
the grit stone on him. Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, man, we like everybody's saying in the comments. I agree with everybody. We have to do a better job of teaching our own. And if you don't know, you know what I mean, find someone who does know. Find someone who does have a wealth of knowledge or is willing to sit down and talk about it with you so that you can pass that knowledge on. You know what I mean? It's about paying everything forward, and that's what we have to do.
Saying that we can just have somebody to talk to. I mean, what should we talk about Conquest? Saying that he just desperately needed somebody to talk to before pretty much butchering half the world. Hell of a transition, huh?
Yeah, that was a pretty good transition. So all right, we last week me and Trey talked about. I keep grabbing this piece of paper and I got to stop doing that because it's just crackling. So last week me and Trey Proper talked about the season finale of Invincible season 3, which showed us the premiere of the villain Conquest, or the Viltrumite Conquest. And it kind of threw people for a loop because Conquest, in the midst of beating the shit of making real orange juice out of Mark Grayson Invincible, he he had a moment of fragility. He had a moment of of consoling and a moment of honestly, it was a moment of tenderness. It was almost a moment of brotherly love with Mark, and like that kind of that got me to thinking. Actually, our producer Lillian Desu, she was talking about there's a conversation going on about the relation between conquest and toxic masculinity. And so I actually had a conversation with someone about Conquest because they were just like, man, why he had that moment, like he kind of had like a weird ass moment right there, and I was like, well, you got to think about it. He's saying in his speech to Mark that all the other Viltrumites are afraid of him, which is a horrifying thing to actually think about. If you've seen any of the other Viltrumites, that's horrendous if they're afraid of you.
Yeah.
And like he doesn't really have a connection. He doesn't really have anyone that cares about him or shows him any type of support because he's so good at destruction. He's so good at conquest. You know what I mean? Which is why he has the name Conquest. He doesn't have a real name. And essentially he only feels a connection with the people that he's killing.
Yeah.
Because those are the people that he's around the most. Those are the people that he can show his full personality and who he is as a person to. And that's all right.
It's terrifying. It's terrifying.
Give me. I'm about to take the veil off real quick. I found myself watching that, and I found myself getting a little bit sad because I identified with that. I identified with that because me being me. For those of you that don't know, I'm 6'5". I'm 340 pounds. I'm a big dude. Um, I have to be tough all the time. I have to be bulletproof all the time. And I find it hard to make the transition to have those moments of fragility, those moments of full disclosure, the moments of, opening myself up to people because it's always implied that, oh, that's Rick. That's the Hulk right there.
It whoop everybody's ass. Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of you find yourself having to constantly wear this mask, and it's tough and it's hard to deal with because when those moments when you need to shed a few tears, when you need to hug, when you need just to be able to talk to someone and be yourself, you can't do it because everybody sees you a certain way, and that is a very very deep and a premise that I feel like should be expanded upon, and that's why I feel like that's why we're talking about it right now.
Yeah. Because by the way, I'm forgetting his name, but Negan, the guy who played his voice for Conquest.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Jeffrey D. Morgan. By the way, he did an amazing job with the voiceover, and I can't wait to see who's going to be taking over for next seasons. But yeah, it's just like the fact that he feels so comfortable to tell the person that he's butchering, not just like, hey, I'm just going to fight this person. I mean, just I have no one to talk to. I don't know how to express myself because people fear me. Unfortunately for me, I don't have to deal with that type of stuff. I feel like I'm like the goofy guy that's always hanging around my friends and everything. But the one thing about it, I want to make all my friends feel comfortable. I want to make sure, and I can't believe I'm actually having this type of conversation talking about a mass murderer, but just like I want to be able to tell my friends, like, hey, if there's something wrong that I'm going, I want to be able to be vulnerable around them. I want to be able to go ahead and tell my friends, hey, you could be vulnerable around me. I tell these guys all the time, look, I love y'all and everything, and I'll catch up with y'all later. No problem with that. And I mean, you have to be able to put your guard down just to keep your sanity. And with a situation like this, as Viltrumites being just killing machines, you have a guy who actually like, you know what, I kind of feel like I gotta let this off. This person get, and I never have to go ahead and worry about them saying it to anybody else because I'm gonna murder them. So it's just like, hey, just as public service announcement to everybody, guys, be vulnerable, be able to talk to somebody. If you can't talk to somebody, seek help. It's not a bad idea to go ahead and seek a doctor or a therapist or anything like that to talk to. This is a safe space, especially for blurs. For you want to be able to go ahead and just be able to express ourselves in the right way. But also, yes, that was a fucking mass murderer telling telling his victim like, I feel kind of soft about this. I don't want to do this, but I mean, I gotta finish off the job. And it's sad at the end of the day when you think about it. It's
Well,
like this it's
well,
very sad.
well, yeah, it is very sad. But again, like I said, he only feels the ability to connect with those people that he is tasked with killing, what he is
Mhm,
tasked with destroying. Um, and I mean, and that's another thing. Like, I think, I think I think we as men need to find the ability to kind of cast off those masks.
mhm,
We need to stop with the front all the time. We need to stop with the oh I'm the big this, I'm the big bad this, I'm the tough man, now we need to cast out that we need to cast aside a lot of that bullshit that we were raised to believe in, and a lot of the keeping up, like it's find your people and be who you are meant to be with your people. Don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed to be. So actually, funny story about something like this. I actually got into a conversation at work this week because a coworker of mine went off on about how men who play video games who are over the age of 25, they aren't shit, and they are little kids, and and I had to actually break it down for him. Like I said, what's crazy is I'm gonna give you a stat real quick that's gonna fuck up your whole argument. I said, what's the average age of a gamer? Of the daily person that daily games that plays games on a daily basis. What's the average age? And he was like, I don't know, what, 15? I said it's 34. I was like, gaming is the number one form of media that is consumed by people on a daily basis in the world. Your sentiment, what you're saying, so essentially 9 out of 10 people is a gamer. 9 out of 10 people that you come across on a daily basis plays games. You know what I mean?
mhm,
And so what you're saying is that all of these people, the majority of the people walking around, because you're not familiar with what it is they do, because you have been told throughout your life that video games are for children and that this and that is for children, like it's not plausible for people to be, or for regular adults or for regular men to be of substance and still play video games. That's a very antiquated and very, very toxic thought process. It's very,
mhm,
very short-sighted. It's very, very short-minded, and it's something that you need to deal with on your own. But I'm a
mhm.
gamer. I said, I'm a gamer. I play games all the time. Am I less than? Am I not a man of substance? And he was like, well, you different. I was like, no, I'm not. I was like, no, I'm not. I'm just like everybody else. I'm one of those people. I can still listen. I can change a tire, but I can also break down the story of God of War for you. So I mean, that doesn't make me any different than anybody else. So
No, I totally agree because I'm even looking at it from the standpoint of this. My gaming is my form of therapy. I
mm-hmm.
love create because I play a lot of sports games. I love building teams. I love going ahead and seeing like, oh, this didn't work. I got to go ahead and fix it this way. Oh, this right here worked perfectly. I'm gonna use this for the next one. It's my form of therapy. It's for me to be able to just, you know what, the world is pissing me off with every single thing else. I'm gonna play my video game. And to be for your coworker to look at it like it's a child's game, you do realize that those children, when we were calling it a child's game, are now grown ass people now, right? I mean, yeah,
What,
yeah,
who got McDonald's money in their pocket? Um, I'm
exactly.
I'm gonna do this because I know he's gonna bitch and moan if we don't say something about it. So Trey posed the question because, like he said, he can't talk but he can type, and clearly you're showing us that. But he
Mhm,
was just like, he was like, assuming you two haven't caught up on your reading, that's a bad assumption to make. But what do you think is going to happen next in Invincible? So let's go ahead and dive into that. So Herb, what do you think is going to happen next on Invincible?
uh, Throg is gonna show up, and unfortunately, Rick is gonna be pissed off because the whole battle beast.
I know what's going to happen. All right. Listen, I don't get too hung up. I like certain characters, but I don't get too hung up when they die. When they
But
die.
we have to bring this up because you brought it up in the group chat the other day. They're going to be having a their own. Do
I
you
mean,
think?
I mean,
Do you think?
um, So Trey, I have actually caught up on my reading with Invincible. I haven't been able to. I haven't bought. Huh? Oh, yeah. I haven't. Sorry, I'm sorry. Sorry, everybody. I had to listen real quick. I haven't bought the books yet, but I have caught up on my reading. Thanks to Comics Explained. Shout out to Rob. So I know what's coming. I don't want to. I'm not going to speculate about what's coming, but all I'm going to say is I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see what they do with the animation. Um, I will say something that isn't in the comics that I want to see where they're going with is the whole Damien Darkblood saga, and him getting that demon out of hell. Like I'm intrigued about what that is. There's some speculation out there about what it could possibly be because of the whole Image Comics connection. I'm not going to. We're not going to go too deep into that because I don't want to. I don't want to put that out there. Honestly, I'm still spurned from the WandaVision Mephisto shit. So I'm not I don't do too much more speculation because if y'all remember a couple years ago, my ass was on the internet screaming at the top of my lungs that Mephisto was showing up. Eric Voss wasn't the only one that got burned by that shit. So yeah, I'm not gonna do too much speculation about that, but it's I'm intrigued to see where that's going.
Oh man.
Um, but no, as Herb was also alluding to something that I talked about in our group chat, the Battle Beast is getting his own comic run, and it comes out in May. And listen, if there's a Third Eye Comics anywhere near you, you're probably gonna see me there because I'm gonna buy a whole bunch of copies of it, plus a couple copies of some other stuff. Also, Trey Proper next week I want to talk about Absolute Flash. But um, so so yeah, man, I'm excited to see where that goes. I'm excited to get my hands on that and read some more Battle Beast. Also, if you see me walking around in black and red with a little bit of yellow trim and I have a gold mace in my hands, just avoid me because I'm about to do something real irrational.
It's just oh man, but since we on the topic of comics, guy, my man, we let's go and bounce into the next one. Transition. Daredevil, episode 4 of Daredevil Born Again. I saw what you guys were talking about last week as far as just seeing where we basically got the courtroom drama, and I just to piggyback on what you said last week, I thoroughly enjoyed that so far too because we're seeing we're seeing his character being built outside of just whooping ass. Yeah, we know that this is going to be a graphic fucking story and everything, and we know Muse is here. We know the shit that's going to happen with him, but just seeing as far as like him getting vulnerable, trying figuring out like the murder of a white tiger, and just it's I thoroughly am enjoying the ride on the show, and part of me is like I should read up on this, but I'm also like I want to enjoy the ride and every single thing that's going on right this second, especially like. And yes, I did get some of the information from New Rockstars as far as just seeing the images of how Muse is putting up the images of Kingpin and making it the whole entire scenery of the actual photos that he had, and then writing his name Muse at the bottom of each and everything in blood per se. So I mean, it's just I'm thoroughly enjoying, and the fact that he had to go ahead. I'm talking about Daredevil as far as him. He had to seek therapy. I guess not therapy isn't the word, but to talk to somebody because
he was looking for confession.
Yeah, he was looking for confession, and the person he went up to was the Punisher. So, Rick, what was your thoughts on this episode?
So there are sects of the internet who are complaining about the show, but also those are stupid people who are cheering on the downfall of the Department of Education. This show this show continues to get better and better every week, and the fact that we haven't seen Daredevil in the suit since episode 1
Yeah.
it's still just tremendous to me. Um, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna talk about. I'm gonna talk the things that stood out to me about this week are number one the relationship between Vanessa and Wilson. I'm going to keep calling him Wilson right now because he's not the Kingpin, he's Wilson. Their therapy sessions alone, it's there is a misdirection here that I don't think too many people are talking about or too many people are really seeing. But the Kingpin ain't the person that you think is the Kingpin. And she continues to put her nuts on the table every week or every time that you see her. And she's looking at him like, you want me to tape him to your forehead, big nigga? Like it's like Vanessa. The fact that they recast this actress and then because of the backlash they had to bring back the old Vanessa, and it's like she's showing, it's like, no, bitch, this is my role, and I'm gonna show you why every week. I don't give a fuck if I'm not even filming with Vincent D'Onofrio. This is me against the green screen, and I'm killing this shit. Like she's fucking doing amazing. I love the dynamic right there, but then also at the end of the episode, Wilson was just like, listen, I'm gonna let you finish, but also remember these hands. These are the hands that terrified this city. And he had a little lover boy just in his cage and shit. You know what I mean? While he sat there and ate his pasta and shit. Pasta mania was running wild, but no, so I really enjoyed that dynamic, the dynamic of Wilson and Vanessa right now. But then also, man, talking about people who have taken ownership over characters and people who believe in what it is that they're playing, and you can just feel it, it irradiates off the screen.
Exactly.
At this point, John Bernthal is Frank fucking Castle.
He is.
John Bernthal is the Punisher. That little 5-minute scene, the emotion that came off of the screen in there just from him and Charlie Cox playing off of him was unfucking believable. Like John Bernthal and him just seeing through Matt Murdock's fucking veil, or another one of those masks we were talking about earlier, and just saying, listen, you're not here because you want to talk about it, or you're trying to find this. No, you're looking for approval. You want to hurt somebody. You want to be who it is that you are. And he saw right through his shit. And I was just like, God damn it. And when he was talking about, like, when he went into the whole speech about, does he talk to you? Do you hear his voice? He's like, I always hear my little son's voice, and he's just saying, get him, daddy. Get all of them. Like, damn it right there. Look at that shit. That's some acting. That is acting.
But it's also
Gal Gadot, you could never, bitch. That is acting.
It's the fact that, I mean, literally, even at that pause at the end when he basically was like, yeah, fuck all this shit, and he just walked out. You saw John Bernthal was just looking like, oh, I guess I need the approval too, huh? Like he's got to be talking with his son. Like, I mean, and then on top of that, we know that what's his friend's name? That his friend's name that got murdered in the beginning of the season. Foggy. We know that Foggy is eventually going to be coming back later on this season.
No, next season.
I'm sorry, next season. So I guess we're gonna either have like you think that we're gonna have like a throwback, or have like a little ghost session where he comes in and have that type of like, I need some guidance and I need to talk to somebody, but the only person I can see is Foggy, even though he's dead.
So, all right, this is gonna be the first time I'm gonna say this. I don't want them to marvel this up and like resurrect him. If he becomes the angel on Matt's shoulder to the devil on Matt's reality, I would prefer that. Or if, like, it's just flashbacks and just him talking to him and him weighing the duality of it. Because if you remember, the priest that Matt used to go to for confession,
he got killed. He
was also killed. So yeah, and we know that Catholic guilt is a big part of who Daredevil is. So I would appreciate that if they bring back Foggy or Anthel. His name is hard to say, so I'm not even gonna try to butcher it right now. I haven't practiced it, but no, yeah, I'm intrigued to see where they go with that. Also, the end credit scene on this week, you know what I mean? Like, you were talking about Muse and him with like paint with the blood or whatever.
Yeah.
We saw how it is that he gets his paint at the end. I hate that it had to be a black man, but also at the same time, like, it's, boy, you got me hating him already. Like, I mean, Jesus Christ, like, so I knew that I know about the brutality of Muse, but it's one thing I'm seeing it on the comic page, and it's another thing seeing it being brought to life. And I know from here it's just going to get even more brutal. And it's a glorious violence. I'll say that.
I want to ask you this too, because I know that he didn't have a really long run on the comics. Do you think that they could possibly like stretch this character out, not just for the season, but for next? Or do you think they're just gonna like, hey, he's had a short run in the comics, we're gonna just leave him here for this season?
I think Muse is a single season character.
Mm-hmm.
I think the season is going to end with Matt taking him out. But and I only say that because because Daredevil, Matt Murdock, he has such a like there are a lot more interesting characters. Like there's other stuff that can be done with that. And so I think Muse is just going to be a one off. And so yeah, I think this season is going to end with him being taken out. And then also I pay attention to trailers, so I've already seen like that they're gonna have a fight and Daredevil's gonna beat the shit out of him. But so yeah, I'm. But I mean, again, I'm still enjoying the show. I enjoy the acting of this show. You know what I mean? Because like I'll say this. In comparison to most other Marvel properties, I will say that Daredevil does have the best acting out of all of the shows. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the best people who are embodying the characters that they're playing. Charlie Cox, listen, hey Ben Affleck, sorry bro, like you're Batman, but you Charlie Cox is Daredevil.
As far as I'm concerned, I don't even remember him being in Daredevil at all. I deleted that. I deleted that whole movie out of my head.
All right, cool.
Oh.
I'm going to send you a copy of it just for that. actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna do something even better. Hey Horace, Herb wants a copy of 2005 Daredevil on DVD. I don't know if you can find it on VHS.
I'm not giving out my fucking address, unlike Trey doing it with his last time he did that shit. Going in the comments, Cam, shut the fuck up.
I got it. Cam Carwell says, say his name, Herb. Not that one. Okay, Horace. All right. We all know the words to Randy Orton theme song. Trey Proper, I won't be happy till they show Matt sitting in the hospital with a revolver playing Russian roulette with Bill's eye. You just you're really sick because you just got to get dark. You just got to make it real dark. Get some broccoli cheddar soup and go take a nap. No, man. But no, it's again. I love this show. I hope they bring back some more of the other defenders, except for Iron Fist.
Yeah,
Finn Jones can stay whatever the hell he is. But
Iron Fist.
Oh God! Bring in Colleen Wing. She can come in. Danny Rand can stay wherever.
I forgot to mention this too, as far as the fact that Kingpin and his wife is in the therapy session, and they on cue. So do we know where he's at? No, we don't. Like talking about as far as her side piece, just basically just like so what exactly did he do? Business. Just simultaneously, it's hilarious to me.
Vincent D'Onofrio is one of the best actors of the last 50 years.
Oh yes, no bar none.
He is absolutely one of the best actors of the last 50 years. He from Full Metal Jacket to even in the fucking Magnificent Seven, the remake of the Magnificent Seven that was led by Denzel, he was great in that. You know what I mean? Like he just. No, I'm not going to say.
We're not going to talk about that.
I'm not going to say Men in Black. Even though he did embody a big ass bug in a hillbilly suit, like it was pretty damn good. But no, Herb, I was trying to make I was bringing up Iron Fist because I was trying to make a transition to the next topic because But anyway, rough transition over. Right, our last topic for today. So a game came out this past. What was it? Was it the 20th?
The 3rd? I think it was 3rd.
No, it was the 20th. It came out on the 20th.
Okay.
Right.
Look, I've been focused on my games. I'm sorry.
Right. Oh, I got you. So Assassin's Creed Shadows came out. This is supposed to be like the last hope for Ubisoft. Ubisoft has been in trouble for a while. Not a lot of their games have sold well. Star Wars Rogues didn't do well. A couple other games they had some live service games that have gone offline because nobody was playing them. But this has been essentially like the last vestige of trying to save Ubisoft and what it is that they're going. And them basically not folding as a game developer.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed Shadow takes place in feudal Japan, and it has two main characters. One of which is Nawe, who is a Japanese woman. She's a shinobi or a ninja. She's the more assassin type character, and the other character is the character that has literally gotten the whole go woke, go broke, the whole right wing, the whole incel, the whole proud boy, whatever, however you want to put him, whatever name that they go on, these people like to identify as. He's the one that's gotten their panties in a bunch, and that is Yasuke, the the historically accurate first black samurai. This is an actual historically accurate character. This is the character who everybody has been pissed about. This is the character that they've all just been, oh, this is a woke game and this is stupid and the Japanese people hate it and da da da. And all of that has it's all going out right now with a nice silent wet fart because um Assassin's, like I said, it came out on the 20th. 1 million people bought the game day one. 1 million people, and that's excluding pre-orders because there were a lot of pre-orders. But 1 million people were bought the game and were playing day one. Um, the Metacritic scores are in the 80%, which means it's not a bad game. It's a throwback to a traditional Assassin's Creed. It's not all as bloated as Odyssey or Valhalla, and it's not all over the place like Origins. It has the most, like, it's Assassin's Creed, but you're playing as a ninja. You know
Okay.
what I mean? And
Yeah.
the other characters you can play as is essentially like a big ass badass samurai who can just bulldoze his way through feudal Japan. Like literally, Yasuke is a foot taller than every other character in the game because he's
He's
a
a
black
ninja on steroids.
man. Right? No. I mean, he's no,
This
he's
guy,
just he's just no, he's just a
he's you.
black.
He's you.
He,
He's you with a black belt.
he's a black man in 14th century Japan. He's who everybody else is 5'3", and I'm not even trying to be funny. Like it's you just gotta look at the game. Um, but yeah, like these people are having a fucking meltdown because they're online, like they're the grifter YouTubers, the grifter gamer YouTubers are all making their videos talking about there's no way that this game can be good and how is it this and that and all of this shit. And it's all just dying out because the game is so far in these first couple days, in these first 2 days, the game is a
That's
success.
it. Yeah.
And that's something that makes me happy to see. I haven't got my hands on the game yet, but I will be soon. And it's just another one of those things where we got to start calling these dumbasses out. We got to start, not listening to these people and forming our own opinions and seeing how things can work and seeing how things actually do work. Um, they were crying about Yasuke being in the game is not historically accurate, but none of these people were crying about the old Assassin's Creed games where at some point you had to fight against Jack the Ripper, or you're you're going back to the days of the I mean, just it's just any of that stuff. They never complained about any of that historical accuracy back then. But now
Mhm.
because it's a black man, now we
It,
can't be
it,
historically accurate. But
the, compl-
I, the
the
game is
complexion doesn't fit. I'm sorry.
no. I'm done. I'm done.
No,
I'll let you go.
no, the complexion just doesn't fit their agenda. And I mean, this all goes back to Department of Education. Hey, if you actually know your information and you do your research, you would know that he is a black samurai. And I mean, yes, so just, and I know it's funny coming from me. Read a fucking book. Read a fucking book. Just, just do that. Just inform yourself. Do a little research. Google is free. I mean, it's just, I love seeing racist people get pissed off at success at people of color success. That shit enjoys me. I mean, it's like the picture I took back in the day of just white tears. So I mean, it
You said that
I
shit
enjoy
enjoys me.
I enjoy it. I enjoy it. I'm sorry, tongue twisted. It's
What
something I
what
thoroughly
type of
enjoy.
what type of relationship
Look,
you got going on with success?
I'm drinking. I haven't
Herb
had anything to eat.
Herb out here fucking success, y'all. No, so no, it is it's yeah, it's one of those things that um that I enjoy, and it is one, like you said, it's one of those things that I enjoy seeing. I enjoy seeing these grifters fall on their faces. I enjoy seeing things succeed, even though people want to deem things as woke. again, being woke is not a bad thing. It means that you're actually a decent human being and you care about other people. You know what I mean? We got that's another word that we have to take back that has been co-opted by white people, because woke was originally used by black people about being conscious, about being receptive to the world around you. So let's take that word back. You know, also, like, listen, since the first time that I heard about Yasuke when I was in fucking middle school, when I heard that there was an actual black samurai who was under the warlord Nobunaga, who was actually a man of prestige and was like known to be one of the fiercest warriors running around feudal Japan, I've been into it. So, like, the fact that, like, a lot of people were just like, yeah, it's Assassin's Creed, I want to be stealthy. Man, listen, my first playthrough is gonna be all Yasuke. It's gonna be all Yasuke. It's gonna be all giant sword and kanabos. Like, if you don't know what a kanabo is, look it up. It is a hellacious weapon. But I will be running around feudal Japan using that the whole playthrough. Um, and again, man, please be cautious of who it is that you subscribe to on YouTube and who these people are that you're watching, because there's a lot of motherfuckers out here who are just making money off of hate and being successful just based off pushing a narrative that doesn't really exist. You know what I mean? We are all human beings, and we are all people who come from great lineages and who have done fantastic things, and we can't just disparage anybody just because we don't like the color of their skins or the way that they look. You know what I mean? Or who they choose, or who they just whatever, man. Like, let's all just love people. You know what I mean? Let's all just be people, and let's all just not be assholes or try to sell fucking shitty ass trucks on the fucking lawn of the White House.
Just be decent people. Yeah, just be a decent individual. You want to talk about the last couple comments before we head out?
No. I'm giving everybody enough attention today. That's enough.
Well, yeah, guys, it's been a pleasure today. It's been fun. We're gonna wrap this thing up right here. Be sure to like, share, subscribe on our social media platforms. It doesn't take much to just press the like and press subscribe. Also, press that bell in the subscription as well. So that way, whenever we post our stuff, you'll get the notification right then and there. But guys, it's been good. Until next time, peace.
Oh, follow us on follow us on Instagram and Blue Sky, and also share this shit out there so that we can get more subscribers. Like, yeah, same shit you heard.
Help us grow so we can do more. The shit that Trey said all the time.
That thing.
Yeah.